Hi there guys, welcome to BoxPred. Okay, so Floyd Mayweather Jr. goes up against Maidana for the second time this weekend. A really big fight. And my thoughts are kind of split on this fight. Because on one hand you have Floyd Mayweather, who is predominantly a counterpuncher who works off the back foot. Traditionally he gets stronger as the fight goes on and he works his opponent out. And therefore boxing law, as it were, would dictate that Floyd Mayweather should be stronger in a rematch, because he's had more time. They kind of always, there's that old saying, it's the 13th round, and Mayweather's just going to carry on where he left off, and actually he knows more now than he knew in the first fight, so he's going to be able to use that to his advantage. So therefore, you would think perhaps Floyd would win the fight, but a bit easier this time. Okay. On the other hand, I've kind of had this feeling, since I knew this fight was happening, that it's not quite as simple as that. Although the first fight was competitive, okay, and we saw vulnerable moments there for Floyd Mayweather in that fight, and to be honest, in my opinion, it was the most competitive fight he's been involved in for some time. A lot of people felt that the Cotto fight was competitive. They felt that he pushed Mayweather back. They felt that he gave Mayweather problems. I didn't. I genuinely felt in that fight that at no point was Mayweather in real trouble, and that he was actually playing to that, making the fight that way. Perhaps to make it a bit more exciting, I don't know. But in this fight, I believe he's probably tried to claim the same thing, that he was making it a fight. I don't buy that. I actually think he was genuinely troubled in the fight. I think that Maidana really, outperformed far higher than I expected. I know he did similar thing to Broner in the fight previous to that, but I've always felt that Broner is not on the level of Mayweather, and that it was just people were just calling for Maidana to fight Mayweather falsely. But I was proven wrong in that first fight, because I thought Maidana fought a heck of a fight, and he made it really competitive. And then, at the end of the day, sometimes you have to take things for what they are, and I do believe that no matter how, even if Floyd does come in there and perform better, if he has more of an idea of the things to do in the ring to make it easier for him, I still think there are going to be some vulnerable moments inevitably in the ring for him, because Maidana's one of these guys who just keeps coming and coming, and unless Floyd manages to stop him and halt it, then inevitably for me there's going to be some time when he's going to have to weather some sort of storm. And here's the thing with a guy like Mayweather, who is a thinking fighter, he's a boxing scientist, a technician. He himself, he knows in the ring, he's aware, he has an awareness, okay, so he knows how he needs to adapt, he knows how he needs to fight to beat this guy. He can adapt in the ring, and he can go in there with a game plan which he probably has a big say in, if not the whole say, okay, because by now he's very experienced and he has those strings to his bow. You could argue that Maidana is not really a thinking fighter. You could argue that he has the disadvantage in this fight of that. You wouldn't really be saying that Maidana's going into this rematch and he's going to have more to give, okay? Because he's kind of like, he likes to come forward, pressurise you and try and catch you, and that's what he's going to have to do again in this fight. And he's always been that way. So you may say, is he a one-trick pony in this instance? Will he just get found out by Mayweather? But here's the wild card that Maidana has: his trainer, Robert Garcia. And this is where trainers earn their money, okay? This is the instance where the guy in the corner matters, actually really can earn his money and make a difference in the fight. And that's the thing. Garcia is fully capable of earning every dollar, okay, because he is a very good trainer. He knows how to set out a proper game plan to defeat that particular opponent, and I believe that Garcia is probably the reason why Maidana had so much success against Mayweather, because Garcia saw something. He obviously had something in his brain. This is how we're going to go in and fight this guy. This is what these other guys haven't been doing. This is how we can get to him. And I think that Garcia is the wild card in this. Can he come up with a game plan? Can he motivate his fighter to do anything different, or has he seen something that he believes that if they go in with the same tactics that they can be successful again? You know, this is where Garcia will earn his money. And I rate Garcia. I think he's a very good trainer, and I think that he is an advantage there. That not so much an advantage over Mayweather, but a good boost that Maidana has. That he has Garcia in his corner. So, you know, obviously in the first fight, Maidana did similar to Mayweather what he was doing to Broner, with obviously less success, and it was a competitive fight. And in this fight, I'm going to go with the first scenario because I believe that Mayweather will win the fight by decision. I think it will be slightly more comfortable than last time, okay? But I don't think that it'll be a complete whitewash, okay? I don't think that it'll be a typical rematch where the guy has figured you out and then, you know, the fight's completely different the second time round. I think we'll still see a kind of a similar fight. We'll still see a good competitive fight. And the other thing to realise is that something that came to our attention during the first fight, in the build-up and during the fight, was that Maidana's really not phased. He really is not intimidated. He doesn't care who Mayweather is. A lot of guys say that going in with Mayweather. They try to put that across, but they very seldom act on it, and very seldom their performance doesn't show it. Maidana showed it. He had no respect for Mayweather, and you know, you hear it here in the UK in football. For all the years that Manchester United dominated the Premier League, winning it season after season, people were saying teams were going out there and they were being beaten before they got on the pitch. People used to say Mike Tyson's opponents were beaten before they got into the ring. I believe that Daniel Geale, in more recent times, was beaten before he got into the ring against Gennady Golovkin. It's that intimidation factor. And in Maidana, however, you have a guy who just he doesn't feel that. He's not phased. He's just calm. He's cool. He really doesn't care. You know where he's from. He's a family man, from my understanding. He really just couldn't care about the whole fame, the big hype around the fight. And that's the best way to be, because he's going in there with a clear conscience, a clear mind, a clear head. He's got a job to do. There's no outside factor as such in his brain which can affect you in your performance. There's no expectation from his side. The only expectation he'll have now is to see how his opponent performs in this second fight compared to the first fight. That's all he will have on his mind for this. He won't be thinking about, you know, outside things. And that's where I think that's the strength of Maidana's. That's why I think he'll still be competitive, because I think that he'll still come in there with his tunnel vision, and he'll still have that one aim and one goal, and he'll live in the moment. He won't be living in the past or the future. He lives in the moment in the ring. Sometimes that can work against you, but I think that more often than not it works in favour of Maidana. So I'm going for Mayweather to win. Also, just one last point. I've kind of felt that if this doesn't go how I think, if it's not competitive at all, and if Mayweather actually walks away with this fight quite handily, and it's just not competitive, then I feel that we may have missed a bit of a chance, because there are other guys I probably would have picked above Maidana to fight Mayweather. Even though the first fight was competitive, I probably would pick him to fight some other good guys in and around the division, because there are some really good guys out there now at the moment. And you know, again, like with the first fight, I felt that it was brought about because of Maidana's victory over Broner. I feel that this is obviously brought about by the competitiveness of the first fight. I just hope we're not disappointed, and I hope that it is a worthy rematch. Okay, I think in many ways it will be, but I do feel that Mayweather takes the decision. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think on the fight. Let me know who you have winning. Can Maidana do it? Yes, I think he can. Will he? No, I don't think he will in this instance. Thanks for watching.